Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my midweek live news stream where I've got some news items for us to have a look at. And also, but first and everything, we're going to review the first two episodes of Star Wars: The Acolyte, which aired or dropped, whatever they want to call it, appeared on Disney Plus in the evening in America, in the early hours. Over here in Europe, right? So I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna review the first two episodes. I've got the first two episodes lined up, and we'll just go through it. And I'll tell you what I liked and what I didn't like. I didn't think it was, as an overview, I didn't think it was great. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was great. And Josh Temple is here. Yay! Harpoon at the rubbers, harpoon at the ready. Cool. But anyway, right. Let's make sure we're live everywhere. We should be live on YouTube. Yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Let me refresh that. Hey, what the hell is that? What, hey? That's not me. Oh, it's an ad. That's what it is. Another bloody ad. What's supposed to be these ads on Rumble? Go away, ad. Right, yes, we're live on Rumble. Oh, and we should be live on Twitch. Right, are we live on Twitch? Yes, we are live on Twitch. And Twitch seems to be behaving itself today. Right, and Laura Smith's here. Yay. Hi, geek, she says. You can call me Steve, you know. Anyway, right, so. Welcome to the show. Right. Is that it? Don't forget, by the way, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. The links for all these stories we're going to look at are in the description down below, and I'll be putting timestamps on later, so you can go backwards and forwards if you rewatch it. Not that many people do, I don't think, but anyway. I get very few views. I was thinking of just not doing these news streams anymore. It's okay, it's okay. Right, so I'll add... I will add it to the screen and we'll go through it. I'm not just, anyway, whatever. It begins with, it doesn't begin, I know the other, is it just for movies a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? I can't remember if any of the other Disney Plus TV shows started with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I can't remember. Maybe right at the beginning they did, but not anymore. But in the same... I suppose font and colour, we now are told that it's 100 years before the rise of the Empire. It's a time of peace, the Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic have prospered for centuries without war. Now, is anything else going to pop up? There we go. But in the dark corners of the galaxy, a powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. It's going to be a name. Oh, there we go. And one of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to seek revenge. Right, so off we go. And then we begin. We're on some planet. And there she is. That's Amanda Stenberg as Mae, M-A-E. And she is the assassin in question. And it looks lovely. The series does look lovely. Hang on, let me get rid of my taskbar. Oh, hang on, you can see that. Hang on. What is it now? Taskbar behaviours. Hey, hide it. There we go. Hide the taskbar. We don't need that, do we? Right. Where were we? You see my icons at the bottom of my screen. Where were we? Right. As I said, it looks lovely. It's really good. $180 million lovely. It does look, but it's a lot of money, is that, ain't it? Remember when some people were telling us that we were never going to see this show? We were never going to see The Acolyte. All we were going to get were a sizzle reel. I'll not name names, but those people were wrong, weren't they? This is why you should never trust rumours from from YouTube scoopers, especially me. Not that I get any scoops, but never trust them. Never trust them. They're entertaining enough, but never trust them. Anyway, so here she is. There, she's got a ship in the background. Don't know what that is there, but off we go. So she's called Mae, and I don't know if she's supposed to be a Sith or a Knight of Ren or whatever, but there's a baddie in it. We saw this baddie in the trailer, I likened the mask to reminding me of David Cronenberg's mask he wore in Nightbreed. But other people have started calling it Smilo Ren, which is amusing. Anyway, right, so we're in this place. We see a lot of these Star Wars towns with this sort of like gateway. I'm sure we might have seen this in another film, maybe. They had a similar thing in Force Awakens and another one in Mandalorian, didn't they? But anyway, so she sees this little alien with some sort of, God knows what it's supposed. Is it a Jawa? Is it a Jawa with pretending to be Darth Vader? I don't know what it is. But she says, "Where's your Jedi?" I don't mean your Jedi, but anyway. And it points and speaks in an alien tongue. And she drops her coin. And anyway, so she heads into this bar. And we see lots of aliens, pretty good masks, I must admit. I said, it looks very nice. And she finds the Jedi. Can't remember the names. I should really have it written down for me, shouldn't I? Hang on, let's have a look. Acolyte. The Acolyte television series. Did I see Windgrace there? Yes, I did. Sorry I'm late. You can start now. We've only just begun, as the carpenters said. Right. Cast. No, don't want it like that. Just have a list of them. I don't need to know the biographies. God's sake. We'll go to IMDb and use that. Bloody Wikipedia. Where the hell? What's going on here? Right. Where were we? Where are you? Carrie Ann Moss. There she is as Master Indara. Jedi Master Indara. And she's sitting with these chaps around this table, whoever they are. And she's going to do it now. Look, there we go. She does her flourish. And she says, "Attack me with all of your strength." And it just kind of reminds me, when she says that, it just reminds me of Jeremy Clarkson. If you watch Top Gear, the proper Top Gear, they had a thing where they were trying to drive an old car from France, from like the early 20th century, like older than the Model T Ford, this old jalopy from France. And all the instructions for driving it were in French, but translated into English through a translation machine like Google Translate, and it had all gone wrong. And it just reminded me of that, because it says like turn the screw until it releases all its strength or something like that, and it just reminded me of that. So I'm waffling, aren't I? So she says that, and I don't know why. It's her catchphrase that she uses. I don't know why, because it sounds goofy. And sounds goofy to the people in it as well, because they all start laughing at her. There you go, they're all laughing. But she's having none of that, so a big fight starts. Quite well staged, I must admit. And then we see a blaster come out. We saw it in the trailer, but he's struggling to get it out. But he does eventually. But it gives her time to... She kicks a table at him, so we see a blaster. And there we get a glimpse of... I forgot her name already. Indara's lightsaber. But she's not going to use it just yet. They're going to have a fight, and we see she's got these throwing knives, and that's all she seems to have. So they're having a fight, bit of what they call it, Jedi foo, or whatever you want to call it, Force foo. So they're giving it all that. Oh my! She throws. Hang on. She throws a woman over the. In a minute. There she goes. She throws a woman over the railing. Have I gone past it? Yes, because she's trying to be, to fight, and she's not using a lightsaber. She's just using Jedi stuff. But then we see she secretes another knife out behind her in a minute when it catches up, and here we go. And she throws the knives at her. And this is when the lightsaber comes out, and. I better make sure we're going, because I'm not having much luck with these streams lately, am I? Yes, we're fine. We're fine. Fingers crossed. And she gets the lightsaber out and deflects the knives, but she's got a hidden one, or she's holding one behind her back, and she pushes this woman and makes her fall, and it distracts Indara, so she uses the Force to break her fall. And there you go, she's going to get the other knife out. There you go. Like magic. And there you go, she does that, but then she's distracted enough. And she's got, there you go, for Pete's sake, she's been stabbed in the heart. Not shot through the heart, because you're to blame. She doesn't give love a bad name. She's been stabbed in the heart with the teeny weeny throwing knife. Lightsabers. People survive lightsaber, what do you call it, piercings. Left, right and centre, but a tiny little throwing knife. Admittedly, it looks like it's in the heart, but that's enough. Obviously, don't get her to a Bacta tank in time, but she dies. There she goes. She dies here, and so off she goes. She's threatening the barkeep, but we see he's got a kid, and maybe it's showing that she's got some compassion because she sees the kid and decides not to kill him. And then we see the Acolyte. And then Osha wakes up. This is Osha. Again, Amanda Stenberg. She's playing two characters. There were twins, and when they were 8 years old on the planet where they lived, May started a fire that burned down their house or whatever, and killed the parents, and the thought that May had died in the fire as well. And Jedi saved Osha, and they keep saying, or they said it a couple of times in this, that yes, Soji and Daj, yes, it's another one of them, isn't it, from Picard. They keep saying that the Saw may die, but obviously not, because we've just seen it, haven't we? Anyway. So she wakes up, and what have I done there? I've gone full screen. I didn't mean to do that. Get out of it again. And she wakes up. Is she on the Galactic Star Cruiser? I won't be surprised. No, she isn't. She's on a Nemoidian ship. Remember that? The Trade Federation. They're around the Trade Federation. Anyway, she's on this ship, and she looks jolly happy. She's got a little droid there. She's holding it in her hand, which she calls Pip. It's like a phone. It's basically her phone, but it's a droid as well. And she calls it Pip. I don't know if the Fallout people, if they're lawyers, will be getting in touch, because, Pip Boy, little helper thing. Anyway, I don't know. But it's more like a phone than a droid. She carries it about. And this way we learn what she does. It turns out she's not a mechanic, she's a mechanic. Why don't they just say mechanic? Mechan or mechanic, or whatever they call them, something like that. Anyway, I do have subtitles on this. Why isn't it showing them? Subtitle track. Enable. Oh no, it's not showing them. There we go. There we go. So we learn she's a mechanic or whatever on this ship. And this is one of her crewmates. She's not the captain. It's, as I said, it's a Nemoidian ship, and they've got to go outside. And this reminded me. There she's with a tung. This reminded me of that film Titan AE, because the hero of that started out in a scene like this, where they were outside the ship in space, didn't they? Let's have a look. There's the rest of the ship that we're seeing. There's the Nemoidians, remember them from Phantom Menace, etc. There you go. Our cargo is not. That's a look better, though, I must admit. I think they do look better than the ones in the Phantom Menace. And there she is. It does really remind me of Titan AE. It really does. Can you take me higher? Bit of damn Yankees there. Is that me? Speaking of Titan AE, I've got it here somewhere. Where have I put it? Oh, how do I get to that now? Like this. Just bear with me. Where have I put it? I can't remember. Not that it matters. I've got a couple of images, that's all. So there we go. That's the I can't remember his name, from Titan AE, and he started out, let's say, at the beginning of the film. He were on a ship doing repairs and stuff like that, and it turns out there's going to be a fire. So we'll get back to the we'll get back to the whatchamacallit. Here we are. Something happens and there's a fire. There you go, they're going to weld it together. There we go. A fire erupts. Not quite what had happened in space. I know, never mind. We know there's no sound in space, and you know, we don't need super realism, but you know, a fire doesn't burn like that in space. It'd be all, if there were like something continually feeding it, because it'd just go out immediately. If it were just like a flame, it'd just go out immediately. But if there's some gas or plasma or whatever constantly feeding it, then fair enough. But it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be like a campfire, you know, or something in your fireplace. It'd be just a stream of fire or plasma or whatever just going out. But it'd be expanding straight away in space as well. They did it in Star Trek. I've got an image of that as well. But they didn't get it quite right in Star Trek either. I've got to find that again now. Tell you, what am I like? There it is. In Star Trek Enterprise, where they had a plasma leak that had ignited the plasma, and they were just continuously being fed, and they turned it off. You know, they shut off the plasma thing, and it went away. But even then, it wouldn't be like that. It would just expand almost immediately. You see it on rockets, when rockets are taking off into space, as when they take off, the flame below it is kind of confined, you know, underneath the rocket. But as they get higher, because there's less pressure, no air pressure, the gases immediately expand. So that's what I damned there. But it's Star Wars. Who gives the monkeys? Not me. Right, where were we? Back to the film. Series, whatever. Anyway, she sees this. There we go. Where are we? There we go. She sees this this flame, and she has a flashback in her mind with her voices. I won't let you leave, Mama. Help me. So she's thinking about her sister that she thinks is dead. By the way, have you noticed? It's 16 years later. By the way, 16 years have passed, and they both have exactly the same hairdo. Is that just a coincidence, or is that just how these people from the planet they're on have their hair? Is that natural? Is it just like that? Like all Vulcans seem to have the same hairstyle, don't they? Is it like that with her people? Probably not. There's Pip. She's going to fix that anyway, and she does. So anyway, right, so that's sorted. But then some Jedi arrive. So we meet these Jedi. This is I don't know there. I can't remember. Oh, it says there. Yord Fandar. Is this Charlie? I forgot his name. Charlie somebody or other. Charlie Barnett. He's the one that thinks Anakin blew up the Death Star. Anyway, he's playing Yord. I think he's a newly promoted Knight of the Jedi. You know, Jedi Knight. This is his Padawan. I don't know what her name is. Oh, there you go. Oh no, and they're looking for Osha Aniseya. I'll just call her Osha Aniseed. Isn't Osha the American version of the health and safety executive from we have in the UK? Isn't that, anyway, whatever. Right, so they're looking for her. There we go. They've only got mech necks. So anyway, they find her. There we go. So they're waiting for it. She's been very stoic. Osha, yeah. Oh, that's what her name is, isn't it? Right, anyway, there we go. 2 years ago, he made a Jedi Knight. So she's very pleased for him. And I don't think she's got any Force powers, or she's turned herself off from the Force, because we don't see her using any Force powers yet. Maybe we will in the future. But in these first 2 episodes, we don't. I don't think we do anyway. There we go. It's educating us is Windgrace. Right. So, basically, they're going to arrest her, because she's somebody matching her description killed a Jedi Knight on that other planet, which I can't remember what its name was. So they're basically going to arrest her. So there we go. So they take her into custody. There they tell her what's going on. And, there we go. Ueda, I don't know how you pronounce it. Uda, I don't know. Hang on. Do we hear her say it?
Last night, a Jedi was murdered on Ueda.
You weighed her. There we go. So they arrest her. And rather than them taking her back to Coruscant for trial, they put her on a prison ship. And I don't know why. There we go. She's on the prison ship, prison transport. Why don't they take her? You know, if she allegedly killed a Jedi, you'd think the Jedi would take her in, wouldn't you? But no, they just stick her on a prison ship that only has one droid, and the pilots are just the seats. But anyway, yes, a kind of cool looking droid. Like I say, it does look nice, does the series, but it looks very old school, doesn't it? It looks like that droid's been around a while, doesn't it? It looks like it. Anyway, but remember, it is 100 years before C-3PO and all them. Right, so right, the off the go. There we go. Right, Coruscant, as if we didn't know. Right, we're in the Jedi Academy where the younglings are being trained, and it's where we meet Jedi Master Sol, played by I forgot his bloody name or not. Him from Squid Game, Lee Jung-jae. I'm probably mispronouncing that. And he's saying, "Close your eyes." There we go. You close your eyes can deceive you. And then later on, we see that famous little alien with the mask. The eyes don't close, and I'm thinking that poor kid, that poor youngling. He's like, I can't close my eyes. Anyway, so here he's teaching them, and he's asking them, what do they see? And they say something about they see. Basically, I think they're telling him a darkness is coming. That's what it boils down to. Anyway, Vanestra Rowe arrives. I don't know why I remember her name. Maybe it just sticks in the mind and rolls off the tongue. She arrives. This is Leslie E. Headland's wife, apparently. Rebecca, somebody or other, Henderson. I don't know. Nice bit of nepotism, get your wife in. There we go. They're saying something bad's coming. Anyway. And there's the... is it going to show him? Is it going to show the poor little... Where is he? There he is. There he was. Look. Can't close his eyes. Poor little bugger. She looks like Zahn from Farscape. I wouldn't know. But poor little... I wonder if he put his hands over his eyes. Or her eyes. Or whatever. Its eyes. I wonder. Anyway, they're off for lunch now. Time for lunch. Anyway, so she's gone to tell him. She's some sort of senior Jedi. She must be, on the council or whatever. And she's gone to tell him that they've got Osha in custody, and they're bringing her in. And she wanted to tell him because Osha was, it turns out, was his Padawan. But she left the order by her own choice. I don't think it tells us why. Anyway, so... Right, so there's that. He's saying, why would she want to kill Indara? It turns out all the Jedi that are being killed were on May and Osha's planet. Were on the planet at the time, when their family were killed. And May's blaming the Jedi. Anyway. So that's that. Right, here we go. The prison ship is going through hyperspace. Look, there it is. Look, it's going through its Doctor Who hyperspace. And here's the droid. And there's the pilots that are just the chairs or the seats. And then we see the incarcerated. Right, and then we learn for the most violent prisoners, they put this parasite on their mouth and it calms them down and puts them in a blissful state. And then they call it a dibuk, which is a Jewish thing, isn't it? It's just like a demon or a spirit, an evil spirit is a dibuk, isn't it? Because you have dibuk boxers, though that famous one. They made a film about it, didn't they? Anyway, never mind. So we see all the other prisoners, but they're planning an escape of these other prisoners. There you go. But she doesn't want anything to do with it. They're going to take the escape pods, and somehow they've got this other convict here who looks like he's from, I don't know, it should work for the Harkonnens in David Lynch's Dune or something like that. Doesn't it? So they can, for the violent prisoners, they stick this parasite Dybbuk on to keep them calm, but they don't do anything about an obviously mechanically or electronically enhanced, person, that can get up to all sorts, because he immediately just turns all the droids off, as we see in a minute. There we go. They just turn back into chairs again. So the ship's flying out of control. Here it is, through an asteroid field. He looks like a Hellraiser thing. He looks like something from somebody's nightmare. Yes, a Cenobite. Yes, that's it. Kind of does, yes. Anyway, the ship's obviously it's not being piloted now, so it's drifting through this asteroid belt, and then it hits stuff. I can't remember what happens with this. Yes, I forgot about this. Yes, the other alien's got a big tongue that he can throttle droids with. I think he might break his head off. Yes, he does. He breaks his head off. So that's the end of that. You'd think, for these super dangerous prisoners, they'd take more care, wouldn't you? Maybe force fields, perchance. Because we've seen force fields, haven't we? I know it's 100 years earlier, but they've still got interstellar travel, so why haven't they got force fields? Anyway, so they all escape, and they leave her. She's trying to reach for, what's his face? There he is, for Pip, because somehow he's ended up on the floor. And she's trying to reach, and I thought she was going to use the force, I thought we were going to hear the dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. But no, we don't hear that. And the ship rocks, and it moves further out of the way, and she can't reach. And it's like she tries. I think she tries to use the force. She kind of takes a deep breath, but nothing happens. And then the ship rocks again, and Pip slides towards her, and she gets out. She uses him to get out of the cell. So she's heading for the other escape pod. They have force fields later in the Jedi Temple. This show is very flawed. Yes, you'd think they'd have force. On a prison ship, you'd think they'd have force fields. As I said, it's supposed to be 100 years before Phantom Menace, but anyway. Anyway, she decides to get this fella... to get this fella to take the Dybbuk off him. And obviously, once she does that, he immediately becomes the most violent prisoner, and there we go. He gets out and runs into the escape pod, and off it goes. It ejects. There we go. So there's no more escape pods. So she's going down with the ship. So rather than just try and pilot it, I don't know. Is she supposed to be a mech? I thought she'd start fixing something. And I thought here, because she straps herself into this seat, she sees these straps here. I thought she was going to do something. I thought she was going to do like an ejector seat or something, but no. She just straps herself in, basically, and goes down with the ship. There it goes. And it crashes. And she's fine. She's fine. You see Sol looking at a hologram of younger Osha. And then his new Padawan comes in. This is, I can't remember. It's Daphne Keane, the actress. But what's the name of her thing? I can't remember. Jackie Lon. That's his Padawan. And, because she's a woman, because she's a girl or whatever, she can just berate the fellas all she wants. But we'll see that. She tells him off for having a hologram of his former Padawan, basically. And he should say, sod off. Right, so anyway, yes, so they've caught these, and now they're behind a bloody force field. Why didn't the prison ship have a force field? Now they're behind force fields, but they're trying to pin the blame on Osha, saying, because they knew she was the Jedi killer. But they don't believe that. Actually, he goes up. They've caught him as well, the violent one, and he goes in and uses his force powers. Jedi mind trick, basically. He uses a Jedi mind trick on him, and he tells him what happened. That she was going to save me, but I betrayed her and stole the last escape pod. So there we go. Right, so they've got to go to Karlak. That's where she's crashed. And he's going to bring her in himself because she was his Padawan. So she says, all right, then take a small team. So he's going to take Yard. I forgot his name. Is it Yard? Charlie Barnett and his Padawan. And some others as well, we find out along the way. Right, so she's wondering what to do. And then she sees this figure here. Oh, no, that's her, isn't it? She looks right there. You go. She sees a figure there in the doorway, and it's her. It's supposed to be May, but as a young girl. So she follows her. But before that, they're talking about going after her. Yes, and they come across Yard. It is Yard, isn't it? Or is it Yard? I can never bloody remember. Yard Fandar. The scene with no top on because he's all muscly and stuff. So he likes saying, "Oh, sorry, you've caught me, with my pants up, so to speak." There you go, bowing. And then she tells him off. Puts some clothes on. Yard. She doesn't say, I know he's not a master, but, she's only a Padawan. He's a Jedi Knight. She should show a bit more respect, shouldn't she? She just says, Yard, put some clothes on, and then walks off. If I were him, I'd give her a clip round the ear. So sod off. Right, so she's... there you go, she's going young or whatever. We're seeing what happened. There's the fire that May started. Look, always one, but born as two. We learn also that her parents were her mothers. That's what it's going to be. She's two mothers. Because, by the way, I think there were a reason that it was launched on June the 4th, because it's Pride Month, isn't it? And this is, by their own admission, the gayest Star Wars ever. But anyway. Right, so there you go. So, May, is it really you? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then she said, did you kill Indara? And I'm not sure what's happening here, because... I don't know what's happening. Is she in contact with May now? I don't get it. And she says, yes, she did. And then her eyes change all funny. Yes, there you go. Her eyes go like that. And says she's going to kill them all. And I don't know if she's in contact with May or if it was just like a dream. Look, she wakes up. And I don't know. Because later on, she's still trying to make that May's dead. So I think she thinks she just had a dream. But anyway, right, they're on their way to go and find her. This is where we're learning what happened. Oh, she's from Brendock. You can't say that they're using the same old worlds, can you? They're all new places, fair enough, I'll give them that. And by the way, it's quite good in this, I forgot his name again. Lee Jung Jae, something like that, isn't it? The Squid Game guy. He's quite good in this, and it does doubly well, because apparently he doesn't speak great English. So it was pretty good. I don't know. The holiday special might have something to say about that. About what? Don't know. And I forgot what I said. So anyway, so he's telling them what happened. And then we'll learn that her sister was called May, and she died. He said, I saw her die, and all that stuff. Right. So here we go. She's running away. She doesn't want to get captured. I don't know why. Why she's running away. It's a way to get off world, isn't it? Unless you were prepared to fix the ship. I don't know. But she goes running into a cave, and and Yard, is he going to show it? I've gone too far. Yard uses his lightsaber. There we go. As a torch. But, by the way, I forgot earlier on, when she was fighting Carrie-Anne Moss earlier on, Carrie-Anne Moss ignited her lightsaber to deflect the throwing knives, and May said to her, Jedi only ignites their lightsaber if they intend to kill someone. I thought, Since when? Since he's not going to kill somebody, is he? He's using it as a bloody torch. It's weird stuff like that in this. It's as though the people, Leslie Headland knows sod all about Star Wars, basically. She's got the cliff notes, and she's just making the rest up. Anyway, they find her. They do the old, the Fugitive, the film, not the series, the film, with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. They do that here. They find her on this cliff edge, and it says, Osha, you've got to come in. Stop in the name of the Republic. And she says, I didn't do it. And he should have said, I don't care, shouldn't it? But anyway, and she falls, but he uses the force and he stops her. There we go. Brings her back, and so she says, I didn't do it, and I think she might say it was May, so May's still alive, and he just goes, I believe you. So anyway, off they go. All right, and then now we're on this. I don't know. Does it tell us the name of this planet? Does it tell us, or is this a mystery planet? I think it's a mystery planet. Does it not tell us? No, I think I don't know where it's supposed to be. It looks, a bit like Acto, but I don't know if it is supposed to be Acto. Probably not. And this is Smilo Ren. I don't know if he has a name or she. I don't know. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Oh, that could be hardy. Right. Anyway, so she's saying, "I've killed one of the Jedi. I've killed Indar or whatever," and then he starts going on about, "Oh, I'll just show you." Oh, for God's sake, what's he doing that for? There we go. He starts talking about, here we go. The Jedi live in a dream they believe everyone shares. And so, if you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail. Steel or laser are no threat to them. She just bloody stabbed Carrie Moss in the heart with a bloody steel, well, a blade. Might have been a vibro blade, I don't know. It didn't seem to be, did it? I think it was just a regular blade. So that were a definite threat, wasn't it? So maybe Smilo Ren knows sod all, but anyway. So she's basically got to kill the next one without a weapon. An Acolyte kills without a weapon. She wants to please the Master. This is the Master, by the way. Not from Doctor Who, a different Master. And there's it. An Acolyte kills the dream, and then it ignites its lightsaber for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's like Maul igniting his lightsaber at the end of Solo, a Star Wars story, for no reason. Anyway, and there we go. That's it. Directed and written by Leslie Yee Headland, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. Just thought I'd throw that in there. So there we go. That's the end of episode 1. It's not great, for over $22 million per episode. It's not great, is it? What am I doing here? I don't know. 2, if I can find it. Got it here somewhere. Bear with me. What am I doing here? I don't know. Why is that full screen and only full screen? Oh, for Pete's sake. Just bear with me. I'm an idiot. What's happening here? It's been silly. I'm gonna have to close that. Exit. It is the right one. Try that again. Right, it's worked this time. That was weird. Now then. There we go. Previously on. Now then, to get rid of these. How do I do that? No idea. Don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Don't want that, do I? There we go. Got rid of Right, episode 2. They have titles, but I can't remember what they were. They were like 2-word titles, and I forgot what they were. But never mind. They only dropped one episode. No, we're doing episode 2 now. I'm just faffing and I couldn't get it to work. But there it is. We have a previously on. So we know what happened there. Previously on. Blah, 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 blah. Right, so begin on this planet, which is called something or other. I don't know. Does it say? There we go. They're on Aliga this time. Again, looks lovely. Looks lovely. Very well done. Decent creature effects. I say very Force Awakens. It was same people, Neil Scanlon and all them that did the creature effects. I wasn't over impressed with the creature effects in Force Awakens, to be honest, but they're not too bad here. Right, we see this little girl come and steal something off that cart he's pulling. And she goes over to talk to this door droid. I don't know what they call them. You know, like what we saw in Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian. But anyway, she's basically there to get this to come out. So May can throw something at it. There we go. To turn it off so she can get in. There we go. And she turns it off and the door opens. For some reason, I don't know. That's made the door open. Maybe it had to come out to work. I don't know, but it's gone back in. So she pays the kid, and in she goes. And this turns out this is the Jedi Temple, or a Jedi Temple. And she's just walking around. Nobody stops her. They can't even sense her presence. But anyway, she's looking for this fella. This is, I can't remember, Corbin, something like that. Let me check. Torbin, not Corbin, Torbin, played by Dean Charles Chapman. Some people have said he looks like Ryan Kindle from RK Outpost. God is in his Jedi Temple. Poltergeist 2, great film. I like Poltergeist 2. Anyway, turns out this is another one that were around when she was killed, when she burned to death. She looks all right to her, seeing as they saw her die, i.e. burned to death, but she looks fine, doesn't she? But anyway, it turns out there he is, old Ryan Kindle. He's got a scar. He's supposed to look old. Apparently, as well, he's been here for 10 years in this exact position, surrounded by a force field. Actually, I think it's an actual force field hovering there for 10 years. So there we go. Don't know how his poo's gone and his water and his have they fed him? Is he being fed intravenously? But anyway, she can't get to him. Oh, she does her old. Here we go. Here she goes, look. Attack me with all your strength. For God's sake. So she had to use a girl to sneak into the front door, but goes out in the open window above the room the master is in. Yeah, why didn't she just jump up to the open window using force jump? Because it's stupid, that's why. Anyway, she says this again. Attack me with all your strength. And obviously he's not paying any attention because he's in his, meditation. And she tries to attack him, but she can't because he's surrounded by a bubble of force power stuff. Maybe all this poo's in there. Maybe there's a little chute down there that all this poo's out of. It stinks in there. Anyway, but she can't attack him. Look, she can't get at him. So he's super powerful. Even her blades that killed Carrie Ann Moss, that killed Trinity, can't get to him. So she's got to figure something out. God knows what. I think, hang on. Where are we? There you go. She gets out that way just as they're running, and he's thinking, "Oh, did I just see somebody there? I don't know. Look up there." But why didn't she come in that way? Don't know. But anyway, right then, what's happening now? They're still on that snowy planet. which I forgot the name of already. Carlac, isn't it? Something like that. They're getting ready, I presume, to head back to Coruscant, and they're having a chat. Blah, blah, blah. Don't really care. It's all boring stuff. All right, and now... Hang on, no, we don't know yet, do we? Do we? Is it this way? They learn that somebody's broke into the Jedi temple. Are the subtitles not on here again? Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. This. Yes, right. Right, there we go. A suspect matching Osha's description broke into a local Jedi temple on that other planet. So obviously, because Osha's there with them, it obviously wasn't her. So now they believe it's May. So, right. So no, they got to go and investigate now. Now because she's in the clear, Olega, that's where they're going. Now she's in the clear. She's going to be helping them with their investigation now. So off they go to Olega. Right, off they go. So May has to work out how she's going to kill this Torbin fella behind his Jedi force field. So she's going to use this chap, who's called Kimia. I think he's supposed to be slightly mysterious. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the Master, but I don't think he will. But I think we're supposed to be given that impression. He knows more than he lets on. He acts like this bumbling idiot, but he seems to, have wisdom as well. And he's not a good person. But anyway, I can't speak. It's implied as well that they've got, it's a shop, it's like a chemist shop or an apothecary or whatever they have. And it looks like they've moved in and probably killed the person that owned it. Because there we go, I took it off the guy who owns this place. So, anyway. Right, so she wants some sort of poison. She can't kill him. She can't kill him with a weapon. Isn't a poison a weapon? Don't know, but anyway. Because she wants to please the Master. So she can't kill him with a weapon. Like she did with Indara. So she wants him to make a poison for her. And then she's saying, she can't get at him. So I think he tells her as well how to get to him. She's got to persuade him to take the poison himself. So is she going to use a Jedi mind trick or something? I don't know. But anyway. He needs something. Something only you can give him. It's forgiveness or something like that. Right, so he's making his poison. Look, there we go. So he gives it to her. So off she goes back into the temple. Don't know how she's going to get back. You'd think, security would be heightened now, wouldn't it? Now they know that she's been in once. Never mind. A pip droid. There we go. As I said, I wonder what the Fallout people are thinking about that. Yes, I believe that guy is Smilo Ren. I don't know. It could be, but I think we're supposed to think that, aren't we? So they'll probably, switch it. It'll probably end up being bloody Carrie-Ann Moss or somebody, or one of her mothers, because there's rumours going round, or people are guessing that the phrase "I am your mother" is going to get said at some point. Because they have said, Leslie Headland has said that phrases from the Star Wars films are going to pop up in this, such as "May the Force be with you" and shit like that. But I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, right, so they're on the way to I forgot the name of the world already. Oleg. So there we go. So it's gone from he saw May die to believing that she's still alive. But anyway, somehow May returned. Yes, from a certain point of view. Right, so here they are. They've arrived on a league. Nice, good sets and stuff. Very Star Warsy. You can see where the money's gone. Just not on the actors. Apart from him, who's the best one. Or the script. But anyway. Right, so they've arrived. Here he is, Ryan Kinnell, in his... But look, she's back in again, look. She went through all that rigmarole. Look, she just drops down through the hole in the ceiling. Why did she do that to start with? And why don't they close the hole in the ceiling? You know, now they know that there's somebody out there that might want to kill him. So he's Mayor Palpatine. yes, Mayor Palpatine. It'll probably turn out that Smilo Ren is Sheev Palpatine's dad or something like that. Ooh, pardon me. Anyway, see, she's dropped down again. Security. It's a load of rubbish, isn't it? Anyway, so they're talking to the local Jedi with the body positive one. He's a Padawan. He's got the braid, so he's a body positive fatter one, as is being called on the interwebs. Oh no, Dad. No, actually, it is Palpatine. He always existed. We will see. Is everything proceeding as he has foreseen it? Anyway, so they've got the girl that let her get in originally, even though she could have just dropped down through the hole in the roof. But anyway, she's in there. While all this is going on, she's in with him, with Torben, talking away to him. And she basically just talks him into lowering his defences and taking the poison. I don't know if she's used a Jedi mind trick on him or what. I don't know. Is he weak-minded? But there you go. He hasn't spoken to anyone in over 10 years. Been there for 10 years, hovering like the golden child. There we go. Face the past, she's saying to him. She basically talks him into... there we go. He's woke up. She talks him into taking the poison, and taking responsibility for what happened, even though it probably wasn't his fault. I don't know, but anyway, there it is. And she used a Jedi mind trick. God knows, but he's taking it. Look, because obviously Master Torben was some sort of bloody idiot, so he's killed himself. And then they come in. Somebody comes in and thinks, "Oh, you've killed him." There you go. No, it's not me. No, it's happened again. Not me, honest. But then Yord comes in and says, "No, my sights were on her." What do you mean? Why don't you just say, I've had my eye on her all the time or whatever. My sights were on her. Anyway, oh look, he's lit his lightsaber. But anyway, so they know she's innocent, so they've got to go and find where they got the poison from. So, right, anyway, they're watching them, look. There you go. So, it must be the only place in town that does poison. So, anyway, so they're going to go check that place out. And, yes, and also, luckily, because they've got exactly the same hairdo and they're identical twins... she's going to pretend to be May, is Osha. So she's going to go in and pretend to be May. There we go. In she goes. And and he doesn't fall for it, because I think he's got force. I think he's a dark force user as well. But because he realises it's not her almost immediately. But so it... there you go. So it all goes awry. She gets she's got a gun now. Look, she's not a very good shot with it. That we'll see in a bit. But he's still trying to make out that he's some sort of he's less than what he is. I think there's more to him than meets the eye. There you go. I'm just her supplier. But there's more to it than her, but it's basically telling them the whole plot, much like in Attack of the Clones when Count Dooku told Obi-Wan the whole plot, didn't he? He told him all about it, about Sidious and wanting to take over and everything like that. Right, so he's doing the same here, basically. She wants revenge on 4 Jedi that were on the planet. So they were in I've forgotten it, Indara, Torbin. Turns out that Saul, and there was a Wookiee one. Is this on this? We've got a Twitch chat. Another one about wanting to promote my channel. We get lots of them on Twitch. Get them on getting lots of them on Twitch now. We always get a lot of them on Rumble as well. Does anybody ever go to them? Don't know. There it is. Look. Unbelievable. Anyway, right. So, what's happening now? I can't remember. I think they're going to try and get they're looking for May or whatever. They're waiting for May to come back to the shop, I think. But, by the way, I do like the music for this. Michael Asbel, I can't remember. He did the music for it, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Right, so here she is. This is May. We can tell with the clothes. She does have longer hair. I must admit, she does have longer hair than. I think she does anyway. I could be wrong. I haven't paid much attention, to be honest. Anyway, look, she's rumbled. So, what's happened there? What's she pointing that for? She's thrown a dagger at him and missed. But then, hey, bit of wire work. It's all cool. So they're having a bit of a fight. Anyway, she ends up being surrounded by Jedi, as we'll see in a minute. Look, they're going to go down and help. And then she ends up being surrounded. And hang on, is this it? There you go. She's been she's cornered. There we go. They all come down there. The ship's above her now. They lay down your weapons. But she notices there's gravel and sand, so she uses the force on that and just makes it all so they can't see, as we'll see here. There we go, like that. The Jedi, they don't need their eyes, do they? You know, your eyes can deceive you. I mean, he said it at the beginning, didn't he, in the Jedi Temple in the first episode. So they should still know that she's there, but she, distraction, she's gone. Because she's an LA illusionist. She's gone. Or she's done like the Wicked Witch of the West. She should have done flames or something, shouldn't she? But she's gone. She's run off. But don't worry, because Osha's going to catch up to her. She gets run over as well by a speeder, look, a slow-moving speeder, and she just steals it off this fella, and she jumps in. There, he goes to see how she is, and she jumps in, and Osha shoots at her, but misses. Looks to be on stun. Oh, Osha! She didn't even know Osha was alive. The very last scene of this show is going to be someone moving to Toshi Station. When asked what they plan to do now, they will say, "Not sure, maybe I'll sell power converters." Is that how they were going to get Luke? But luckily he never got there, did he? Anyway, there we go. She's going to shoot. Get on with it, bloody hell. There we go. Pew! Look, she's aiming, and she still misses. Look, did she miss on purpose? Maybe. But for her... I mean, it was a stun thing. For a stun thing, it bloody did some damage, didn't it? If it was a stun setting, it looked like one, didn't it? Anyway, she's missed, so she drives off, and she shoots at her again. Still misses, I think. Anyway. So, now they know that, there's some dark force users afoot. What's happening now? So they're going to go off and... yes, that's it. He's found the Wookiee, the Kelnaka, who's played by Jonas Suatomo, something like that. The fella that did Chewbacca in The Force Awakens. In most of the Disney Star Wars films. Right, so off they go. There we go. They're going to Kofar, a very treaty place. And then these chaps, look, they're speaking in Huttese. And... they're looking for a ship or something that they want to salvage. But it turns out there's a Wookiee there that's I think it's supposed to be like a Bigfoot or something. The hair is raw, and there he is. So it scares them off. Hang on, what's he done with them? There we go. Scares them off. They just run off. And somebody was saying, "Why is he wearing clothes?" He ain't though, is he? No, he's not wearing clothes. Why did somebody say we're wearing clothes? I've no idea. I saw another review. Why is the Wookiee wearing clothes? He isn't. He's just got a satchel, a bag round his neck, and a weird top knot thing. But anyway, so he's there, and looking like a Bigfoot. Looks like Harry, doesn't he, from Harry and the Hendersons? So he goes into whatever this is, and that's it. That's the end of episode 2. So, whatever. Then we hear some nice music. So there we go. So that's the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. And, it's not great, to be honest. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Let me deal with this. How do I get my taskbar back? I've forgotten. Is it in there? Just bear with me while I sort my stuff out. There we go. Fun fact. In the comics, Han and Chewie crash on Earth in the past, and Chewie inspires the legend of Bigfoot. So there you go. We all know Bigfoot's a big robot, isn't he? Because Steve Austin, the $6 million man, went up against him, didn't he? Played by Andre the Giant, or what's his face? I forgot his name now. Ted Thingamabob from the Addams Family. Or the Munsters. No, the Addams Family, wasn't it? And they're also in Star Trek. Anyway, right. Just bear with me. I'm just sorting things out again. No, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. There we go. That's it. Right. So anyway, like I say, it wasn't great. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it were particularly good. But moving on, I've got an article about it. As I said, I'll carry on watching it, but I've got a feeling that those 2 episodes were probably the best of the season. But the only thing I'm interested in about it is to find out who Smilo Ren is. If we ever do find out who Smilo Ren is. But that's the only thing that's keeping me watching, because I'm just curious about that and what they're going to do. And if we do hear the "I am your mother," even though she had 2 mothers, they said they've got the twins born of 2 mothers. Does that mean one from each mother? Or why am I doing that? Don't know. But one from each mother, or from the same mother. I don't know. But anyway, that's it. It's not great. I don't know. If I give it a score out of 10, it'd be like, I don't know, a 6 or something like that. Not terrible, but not great either. I've seen worse. Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan series, for instance, or, Book of Boba Fett. I think they were worse than this. But anyway, but we'll see. It's supposed to get super woke from here on in, so that's what we're going to look at next. We're in the articles now. So here we go. This is from Blaze, Andrew Chapados, or Chapados. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Force is legitimately female, he says. The Acolyte will finally kill Star Wars with woke law. TV critic reveals. This series introduces several new female Jedi characters, and some men ones, and chronologically takes place before any of the films. A TV critic who has seen the first few episodes of the new Star Wars series, The Acolyte, said the changes to the law will kill the franchise to anyone who enjoyed it before Disney took the helm. The Acolyte is the first show from the franchise to be created by a woman, with showrunner Leslie Yee Headland introducing new major female characters into the story. The fresh, prominent female Jedi roles include actress Carrie-Anne Moss as the most powerful Jedi in the room, but, she was the only Jedi in the room and died, who practices a form of kung fu. The character is quite obviously inspired by Moss's character in the Matrix franchise. Someone they didn't call her something based on Trinity, Indara. Don't sound like Trinity, does it? But anyway. With scenes in the show closely mimicking scenes that starred Keanu Reeves in 1999. Entertainment reporter Alan Eng, who said that he had seen the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte, revealed that recent changes will finally destroy the law. The 3rd episode of The Acolyte will finally kill Star Wars for the vast majority of pre-Disney Star Wars fans. Based on Lucasfilm comments of late, they are okay with that, Eng wrote on X, formerly called Twitter. During a podcast on the Valiant Renegade channel, Eng elaborated and said, "The Force is female, the Force is legitimately female," when talking about the new episodes. He added that the 3rd episode of the series fundamentally changes the future of Star Wars. Now, in terms of does it negate the originals and the prequels? Not necessarily. So make sure we're still going. Make sure everything's still hunky-dory. Yes, we are. Yeah. I forgot what I want now. I'll start again. Now, in terms of does it negate the originals and the prequels? Not necessarily. I think we're just going to be more upset with what we were presented and the knowledge that this is the direction that Disney Star Wars is gonna go from now on, Eng added. And that's his tweet or X post, whatever they're calling them these days. Curiously, speaking of X, Elon Musk did a poll, didn't he, recently, about whether they should change it back to Twitter. And it was, well, last time I saw it was like 90% wanted it changing back to Twitter. So maybe he will. I don't know. Now, knowing Elon Musk, he'll probably do both. He'll probably have it both. Anyway. That Park Place writer and noted industry insider called WDW Pro cited his own sources on the topic that seemingly confirmed the educated rumour. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie E. Headland, I'm going to call her that, are going to do something in The Acolyte that is going to essentially end what remaining fans they have. And that is they are literally going to change the Force itself, into being literally female, gender female Force, he said on a podcast. I assumed the plan was to always, to eventually rebrand it Twitter Classic. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? Anyway, my last story tonight, my hand finally, is a Twitter post, which you might find exciting, Winggrace. You don't go on Twitter now, do you? So I don't know if you know about this. We'll see. You probably do, because you are omnipotent. But anyway, them saying about that, the making the Force female, it kind of it stirred in me memory banks of, like, you know, the sacred feminine and what were it now? The Da Vinci Code and stuff like that. So, you know, it's Leslie E. Headland, not an original thought in her head, you know, she's just stolen things from everybody else, hasn't she? Also, homaged. Anyway, the source, who has relayed to me some stuff, they believe this will be so bad that there's nothing left to do except reboot Star Wars. They think Kathleen Kennedy cannot continue, or Star Wars cannot. They said that, though, haven't they, though, about the Night Sisters, haven't they? The Night Sisters from this other galaxy that were in Ahsoka. They said that they weren't using the Force, they were using some sort of Force-like magic that were different to the Force, and that's how they were going to try and change it, weren't they, into this other Force. Anyway, Disney's Kennedy has consistently lived up to her parody portrayal from South Park, which had her insisting that everything from the studio became more lame and gay. "Put a chick in it, make her gay," she yelled in the cartoon. The parody has mirrored real life, as series star Amanda Stenberg and creator Headland recently debated how gay Star Wars actually is. Yep, I saw it. During an interview with The Wrap, Stenberg said she thought the franchise is so gay already. I mean, have you seen the outfits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and send each other reference photos, she laughed. "Are you telling me with a straight face that C-3PO is straight?" Headland asked the reporter. "You're offended?" Stenberg asked the creator. "Into it," Headland replied. C-3PO's a robot. He's a droid. He's neither straight nor gay. He's neither. He's a droid. He has no thoughts on the matter. When asked for comment on the idea of the Force becoming female, reporter Lewis Brackpool puzzlingly asked, "What in the world are they on about? The Force is female." "I feel like any further response would be me repeating myself about all of this woke nonsense," he added. The first 2 episodes out of it. Oh, is that it? Right, fair enough. But yeah. Yes, she kept going on about... They kept saying that nerds are gay in this interview. Some are. I know some that are gay. You know, but not all nerds are gay. But this just isn't about, gay versus straight and all that. It's about them shoehorning things into, their entertainment. Basically shoehorning themselves into their stories. They say, write what you know, but, make an interesting story while you're at it. And don't shoehorn, your politics, essentially, into... Because it's become political now, hasn't it? Into their stories. So there we go. So that's... so, as I said, I think it's just going to get worse from now on. From episode 3 onwards, it's just going to be... it's just going to be a snowball of woke and gay and all that stuff. LGBTQ plus AIE exclamation mark, whatever. From now on, and it's going to ruin the story. So there we go. And possibly, according to Alan Eng, ruin Star Wars. We will see. Right. Moving on. Oh, God, I'm pressing the wrong buttons again. I'm an idiot. Right. Alien Romulus. Trailer dropped, so we're going to watch that and have a look at it. So, Alien Romulus. Huzzah. Let me go full screen. We'll watch that. Right. Are you ready? I'll mute myself.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
No,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water. Fucking thing's hunting us.
Open the door, come on.
Run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
So there we go. I'll mute it. So there we go. That was the... Oh, yes, I'm unmuted. That was the Alien Romulus trailer. It looks all right, doesn't it? It looks all right. But we'll go through it. Anyway, first off we see... this is this LV-426? Are we in the early days of the... of when it's been terraformed? I want to go... There we go. I'm trying to see what it says. There's some writing on it, isn't there? And I'm trying to make out what it is on the on that. Can you make it out? I think it's writing, isn't it? It looks like it. Don't know. Can't make it out. Can't make it out what it says. Anyway, but it looks like it's whatchamacallit. What they call them? That was in Aliens. That was on an LV-426. One of them anyway. That's helping terraform the planet. Now, was there just that one, an LV-426, or are they starting on another moon? It does look like, what is it, Zeta-2 Reticulae. It does look like where they're in the first film, doesn't it? But anyway, I wish I could tell what that says. Is that a K and a sun? Something? I don't know. I can't make it out. Can't make it out. See, it don't go on long enough. Anyway, so anyway, looks okay. Lots of member berries. They got this ring system. We know that the planet, the LV-426 orbits, because it orbits a moon essentially in it of a gas giant. That had a ring system, so they're in that area, and there we see. Obviously, that looks like there's been some acid damage there. Yes, and what? I don't get this. She puts that behind her there, and is it just a really bright torch, or is it Is it a scanner that somehow shows you what's inside you if you hold it behind you? I don't know, but anyway, we see the chest burster about to make an appearance. That's the Ridley Scott logo. This I can't do this fella's voice. There's something in the water. Something in the water. Water, mate. Say your T's. Anyway, this is a cool shot, isn't it? The face hugger's trying to, it shows it trying to get its ovipositor or whatever the hell into his mouth. I'm pressing the wrong button. But cool. I'm trying to make out what we're looking at here. Is it its fingers? Yes, the alien's fingers like doing that. So we're in some sort of cocoon. There's a bit later on that I thought it was an asteroid, like it was going to collide with the station or part of the rings or something, about to collide with either the ship or the station. But a cocoon? I keep pressing the wrong buttons. And is he the android? Have I missed a bit as well? Have I missed? Because we see a bit with the blue mist, don't we? Where is it? That's obviously reminiscent of the pipes they were going through that Dallas were going through in the first one, wasn't it? Where is it? Have I gone past it? Have I missed it? They're very, good set dressing. See, hang on. This bit, wasn't it? Before here, I think. There we go. There it is. I said this is like from the first film, some sort of laser rented from the Who. So maybe they've rented them from the Who again. But so does this mean that the aliens, the xenomorphs, do this themselves somehow naturally? It's a naturally occurring mist that just looks like a laser. Or does it mean that Whale and Yutani have been to LV-426 and they set up the laser there that Kane came across? They'd been there before. Dunno. Anyway. But yes, it looks very interesting. There's loads of facehuggers. It reminds me a lot of Alien Isolation, that game. By the way, that's a cool shot, isn't it? Or something in the water. But there's our crawling through tunnels. She's screaming, but we can't hear her because in space, no one can hear you scream. And they just show that, literally. And then we get the writing, the text like we see in the film. Bit of acid there, and basically that's it. I want to show Where's the what I thought was an asteroid? Where is it? Because we also saw something else as well. It looked as though the ship were being destroyed, or the station, or whatever. Where is it? Where is it? Not finding the bugger, am I? I think it was before that or after that. Where the blinking flip is it? You know what? I'm just going to go. Was that it? That's it, isn't it? Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yes, I thought it was an asteroid at first that were going to collide with the station. But it looks like it's coming through a force field, doesn't it? So is it... Does the alien cocoon itself, if it finds itself floating in space somehow, or in some hostile environment, does it like form a cocoon around itself for protection? And now it's arriving at the station. But there's also another bit where it looked as though something were blowing up on the station, and that's why I thought it was an asteroid. But I don't know. Oh, that's it, isn't it? That's, yeah, that. Go back again 5 seconds. There, that. Something's hitting it, isn't it? Something's happening there. But anyway, it looks okay. It looks okay. I just hope it's not going to disappoint us. Because some people I know will be really disappointed if it's not very good. So that's it. I'm not building my hopes up. Because I've had my hopes dashed. Oh, what am I doing? I've had my hopes dashed before. When I've wanted something to be good and it's turned out not to be. But anyway. So there we go. It's Alien Romulus trailer. Looks interesting. And I hope it's good. Right, moving on. Moving on to horror next. This one's from Sci-Fi Now. Who wrote this one? What's that? Go away. Rachel Harper wrote this one. Mike Flanagan to direct radical new Exorcist movie. Not enough Denise Crosby. Okay. Oh, yes, Romulus. Yes, of course. Yes, Romulus. Sealer, yes. Oh, dear. What have I done that for? God, I'm stupid. How do I get out of this now? Go back and... What? No, it's a different thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's another page that's popped up. Bloody pop-ups. Because I'm stupid. Right, anyway, Mike Flanagan to direct radical new Exorcist movie. The Exorcist franchise is going in a new direction with Mike Flanagan at the helm, says Rachel Harper. And that's a scene from Exorcist Believer, which I've not watched. It's been on Sky Movies and stuff. But I've not watched it because I've heard it's rubbish. Anyway, Horror Maestro, Mike Flanagan. Is that big enough to read? I'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. Mike Flanagan, the man behind horror movies like Doctor Sleep, which were all right, and Gerald's Game, which were good, and TV shows Haunting of Hill House, which were excellent, and Midnight Mass, which were pretty good, has been confirmed. And don't forget, the Haunting of Bly Manor, which were all right. Has been confirmed to write, direct and produce what Blumhouse is describing as a radical new take on the Exorcist franchise. This new direction of the franchise comes after Universal's $400 million deal, baffling, isn't it, to allow it to make a trilogy of new Exorcist movies. Why spend that much on The Exorcist of all things? I mean, it's not that big of a franchise, is it? Anyway, click that. What's that? Click that selfie fails. I don't know. I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention to it. Those movies were originally planned to be helmed by Halloween's David Gordon Green, who spoke to us about his hopes of making a trilogy. Follow that link. But the first of that trilogy, Exorcist Believer, was met with negative reviews. Yes, it was. Apparently, it wasn't very good, and it were all because of the patriarchy, wasn't it? That's why it failed. This new movie from Flanagan is said to be set in the Exorcist universe, but not a sequel to Believer. The Exorcist is one of the reasons I became a filmmaker, he says, and it is an honour to have the chance to try something fresh, bold and terrifying within its universe, reuniting with my friends at Blumhouse, with whom I've made some of my favourite pieces of work, only makes this more exciting, said Flanagan. The new movie is said to be about demon-possessed people and the Jesuit priests that wrangle them. So it's going to be like Day of the Dead. Instantly popped in my head, Day of the Dead, where they're wrangling the zombies for the scientist. That popped in my head. Mike's voice and vision are indispensable for horror fans, and we are excited to welcome him back to Blumhouse, said Jason Blum, founder and CEO of Blumhouse. I immediately responded to Mike's new take on the world of The Exorcist and can't wait for audiences to experience it. This will be the fourth team-up between Flanagan and Blumhouse. The filmmaker wrote and directed Oculus 2013, which were all right. Pardon me, Hush 2016. I think I've seen it once, and that were all right as well. And Ouija, Origin of Evil, which I really enjoyed. It's well like a sequel, although it were a prequel. Well, better than the original. I actually saw Ouija, Origin of Evil first, and then watched the original one afterwards. It's an honour to be working with Mike, added David Robinson, chairman and CEO of Morgan Creek, which has the rights to The Exorcist. I think his vision... So who paid this $400 million? Universal, Morgan Creek, Blumhouse, or did they all empty the pockets onto the desk and went through what money they had? I think his vision for this franchise is going to stun audiences worldwide, and I could not be more excited to be working with him, Trevor, Jason... What the hell's Trevor? Jason and the entire Blumhouse team. Is that it? Yes, that's it. So there we go. So we will see, won't we? What would it say? Demon-possessed people and the Jesuit priests that wrangle them. It's a weird word, isn't it? Wrangle. As I said, it gave me visions of Day of the Dead, where they had all the zombies in pens in that cave, in that underground, and they were wrangling them for the scientists, weren't they, for him to experiment on. So is it going to be something like that? It's going to be like Resident Evil as well. Dunno, we'll see, won't we? So that's interesting, because Mike Flanagan's a good filmmaker and TV maker, that word. So it should at least be entertaining and well made. So hopefully, and I don't know if I'll ever get round to watching Exorcist Believer after what I've read about it. Anywho, right, we'll move on. Click on that again. Selfie fails. Where were selfie fails? I didn't see it. It hasn't popped up this time. It's a different thing. Never mind. Never mind. Right, what's next? Star Trek now. 1, 2, 3 Star Trek stories coming up next. Right. Here we go. Netflix says this from Screen Rant. Bloody pop-ups, look. Go away. What's that one? So they put loads of different X's on so you don't know which to click. Screen Rant, who wrote this? Mark Donaldson. Netflix's Star Trek show will beat Paramount Plus to the punch. Netflix is set to beat Paramount Plus to the punch by streaming Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 before a single minute of Paramount's next Star Trek show is filmed. Prodigy Season 2 has had a rocky road to screens, first being cancelled by Paramount Plus before finding a new home on Netflix thanks in part to a passionate fan campaign. Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 will pick up the story of Dal-Rel, Brett Gray, and his crew as they gain hands-on experience of what it takes to be Starfleet officers, courtesy of the mentorship of Admiral Catherine Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, and the Doctor, Robert Picardo, not Doctor Who, the Doctor. Some nice gymnastics in the opening of this article. Gymnastics? I don't know what you mean. Although they're set 800 years apart, the upcoming young adult Star Trek Discovery spin-off Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which nobody's asked for, bears similarities to Netflix's animated series. While the target audience of Star Trek Prodigy is certainly younger than that of Starfleet Academy, both shows are Star Trek coming-of-age stories. These similarities make the timing of Starfleet Academy's announcement and Prodigy's suspicious, but it's likely just an unfortunate coincidence. Yes, it probably is. The way they are phrasing things. I thought he meant that, but I wasn't sure. Like a fan campaign. I don't remember a fan campaign to save Prodigy. But I've seen a couple of hashtags, but I don't remember a campaign. But anyway, maybe it worked. Another unfortunate coincidence is that Netflix dropped Prodigy Season 2 in July, months before Paramount Plus's upcoming young adult Star Trek show, they keep mentioning that it's a young adult one, is scheduled to start shooting, meaning that Starfleet Academy could pale in comparison. What's that got to do with it? Because it was nearly finished anyway, wasn't it? Well, Prodigy Season 2. That's why Paramount let them shop it around, because it was more or less finished, wasn't it? So that's why they let them do that, I think, because it didn't need much money putting into it. But anyway, by the way, they're also when it drops on Netflix, it'll be dropping all 20 episodes at once, not be weekly. Go on to Windgrace's channel. He did a video about it. There was a campaign and some guy hired a plane to fly Save Star Trek Prodigy over the Netflix HQ, etc. Oh, well, I remember that. Oh, was that about Prodigy? Oh, right, cool. I thought it was, for some reason, in my head, I was thinking it was something to do with Star Trek Legacy, but okay, fair enough. You're right, I'm wrong. Despite how rigidly compartmentalised Alex Kurtzman has made it, the Star Trek franchise has dueling Starfleet Academy shows. Star Trek Prodigy will largely be set aboard the USS Voyager A as Dal and his fellow warrant officers join Janeway's mission. I thought they were going to be cadets. Unless they're given special dispensation or something, I don't know. Janeway's mission to save Captain Chakotay, Robert Beltran. While the end of Prodigy Season 1 confirmed that Dal and his crew aren't officially Starfleet Academy cadets, Season 2's theme of coming of age and learning what it takes to become an officer is the whole premise of the upcoming Star Trek Discovery spin-off. Prodigy also has the benefit of being a Star Trek Voyager sequel. Meaning that it has a firmly established fictional universe in the form of the 24th century. As well as Kate Mulgrew, Robert Picardo and Robert Beltran, it's been teased that other classic Star Trek characters may cameo in Star Trek Prodigy Season 2. Harry Kim, for instance. Garrett Wang. Although I always say Wang, but never mind. Compared to the Star Trek Prodigy characters rescuing a Starfleet legend from an alternate future, the Star Trek Starfleet Academy's story of fresh recruits finding their way into higher education sounds incredibly dry. Hopefully it won't be as earthbound as suggested by the construction of Starfleet Academy's primary San Francisco location on a soundstage in Toronto. However, it could be difficult for the show to escape unfavourable comparisons with the thematically similar yet more vibrant animated series. Prodigy will be better than Starfleet Academy. Not least, but I don't think they're not competing. This article seems to think that they're in competition with each other, but they're not. I mean, Prodigy will be done and gone before they've even started filming Starfleet Academy. So, they're apples and oranges, aren't they? Not least because, like Prodigy's Admiral Janeway, Starfleet Academy also has a charismatic female mentor in the form of Holly Hunter's unnamed Academy Chancellor. Star Trek's dueling... I keep saying that, don't they? Dueling Starfleet Academy shows, they're not going to be dueling, are they? Are emblematic of a forward-thinking strategy for the wider franchise. As the Star Trek franchise approaches its 60th anniversary, it makes sense. I mean, technically, this year is its 60th anniversary because the Cage were made in 1964, wasn't it? That's what it says on my copy of it. Anyway, I've got it on VHS and stuff. It says, copyright 1964. Whatever. Holly Hunter better play Hirogen. That's all I'm saying, because she's a hunter. Oh dear. Where were we? Star Trek franchise approaches its 60th anniversary. It makes sense to start building the next generation of Starfleet legends, be that in Star Trek Prodigy or Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Constantly trading in the 1990s glory days of the franchise, or trading on, sorry, the 1990s glory days of the franchise, or revisiting the legendary adventures of the Star Trek original series crew will only go so far. While Star Trek is something that multiple generations enjoy together, kids and young adults, it's obsessed with young adults, often desire a corner of the franchise that's just for them. Star Trek Prodigy Season 1 was such a joy because, as well as telling a great Star Trek story, eventually, it was a hugely enjoyable and accessible primer for the history of Starfleet and the Federation. Kids that I didn't like the ship. I didn't like the Protostar. I thought it was bloody awful. Anyway, kids that fall in love with the adventures of hologram Janeway and the crew of the USS Protostar could then ask their parents to show them the adventures of the real-life Janeway and the USS Voyager. Hopefully Star Trek Starfleet Academy will have a similar effect on its young adult audience, building the next generation of fans, see what they did there, and securing the longevity of the franchise for generations to come. Note, Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 1 is scheduled to start production in autumn of 2024. And Prodigy premieres on Netflix on July the 1st. Be with you. Oh, sorry, I've got all snotty all of a sudden, I don't know why. Best way to keep me engaged in the Academy, Hollow instructor Barclay as a recurring character. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I think they've learned a lesson. Kurtzman. I think Kurtzman's learned a lesson that to keep, the fans, somewhat happy, is to reference old Star Trek, like he did season 5, of Discovery. Its whole plot were based on a TNG episode, wasn't it? So I think that's. I think they'll do that. I think they will. I think they'll do that. They'll bring in actors from the past. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Prodigy Season 2. I keep meaning to re-watch Season 1. I keep forgetting. I'm hopeless. I keep getting distracted with other things. Far Cry 5, for instance. Anyway, I will get round to it. Right, so there we go. So that's that. Right, moving on. Looking forward to Prodigy Season 2. Presumably the last season. They don't think they'll be making any more, will they? Right, this one. Yes, this one. This one ain't really a news thing. It's just an opinion piece, I suppose, from Giant Freaking Robot, Chris Snellgrove. The Star Trek movie that doesn't deserve the hate. No, it doesn't. See, I put that on the thumbnail, didn't I? While there have been some stinkers along the way, no, they have. All the Star Trek films have been, from okay to super ace. There haven't been any bad ones, in my opinion, apart from the JJ ones. Damn, I agree with GFR. Giant Freaking Robot. While there have been some stinkers along the way, the Star Trek film franchise has been mostly very successful, keeping the franchise alive even when new episodes were a distant memory. This success is somewhat ironic because the very first film received harsh criticism when it premiered. That's from me as well. I was only 12 and I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. But I have come to love it. And many fans still consider it boring and disappointing. However, here's a take so hot it may cause a warp core breach. Star Trek the Motion Picture doesn't deserve the hate and is a truly remarkable film in almost every way. Yes, it is. And there's Spock. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Star Trek the Motion Picture isn't thought of as a truly bad film the way that The Final Frontier or Nemesis are. Neither of them are. I like the motionless picture. Plus, The Wrath of Khan was such a good sequel. that it began the old fan joke that only the even-numbered films are good, which were kind of true. The even-numbered films were generally better than the odd-numbered films, usually. And that's a joke that has always made the first movie part of its punchline. Right, so why do I think, and there's Kirk and Chekhov, and that's Scotty in it. You just see part of him on the new refit Enterprise. Sorry, Scarlett Johansson caught my eye there. Love that Admiral uniform. It's cool, isn't it? It is a cool uniform. It was nice to see. I forgot his name now. Star Trek Continues, the last episode that they did. We saw Vic. What's his last name now? What's his Vic? Whatever he's called, as Kirk in his Admiral's uniform. It was cool. That. It was cool. Vic Montagna. Is it Montagna? Something like that, isn't it? Anyway, so why do I think, Chris Snellgrove says, why do I think Star Trek the Motion Picture doesn't deserve all the hate, even the tepid hate, it gets? For starters, it's a movie that fully understands its core trio of characters and showcases how each of them has grown since the original series. Spock's willingness to purge his body of all emotion, for example, feels perfectly in line with the conflicted half-human character of the original show. Spock wanted to be more Vulcan than every other Vulcan, essentially. Mignone, there, him, yeah. Mignone. Meanwhile, it makes perfect sense that the fun-loving Dr. McCoy would retire from Starfleet and that only a new adventure involving his friend Kirk could get him back in sickbay where he belongs. I bet he was drafted, wasn't he? Because Admiral Nagura used some reserve activation clause to, basically draft him back into Starfleet, didn't he? Because he were off. In the book, it tells us where he was, and I can't remember where he was. He were off doing like frontier medicine somewhere, wasn't he? That's what we were doing. Decker and Kirk. Speaking of Kirk, and there's Stephen Collins as Will Decker. Willard Decker, isn't it? Matt Decker's his dad, isn't it? Commodore Matt Decker, who died in the Doomsday Machine episode. He was off collecting sweet medallions. Yes, he had a cool medallion, didn't he? And a full beard. Speaking of Kirk, he gets the most fulfilling arc in Star Trek the Motion Picture, beginning the movie as an admiral bored to death behind his desk. He also sees his girlfriend die in the transporter accident. That's in the book, but we don't learn it in the film. He takes back command of the Enterprise in time to save the Earth from a new threat. I don't like that, though, where he takes a rank reduction to captain, and which means that Captain Decker has got to take a rank reduction to commander. I thought, why? Why can't he just assume command of the Enterprise as Admiral Kirk, like he does in Star Trek 2? Anyway, but the movie doesn't shy away from the sobering fact that Kirk's decision is motivated more by his midlife crisis than any sense of altruism. By the end of the movie, he has learned much from the young captain whose job he took, even as the film makes it clear why someone of Kirk's experience should still be leading humanity's exploration of the cosmos. Dr. McCoy's own arc could be stronger, but McCoy's just there, really, isn't he? We don't see any change in McCoy. He instantly is there guiding Kirk, isn't he? Jem. You're pushing. Your people know their jobs. That was his first, bit of wisdom, wasn't it? So he's just there to keep Kirk on the straight and narrow, and which he does. Anyway, with his sweet medallion. Anyway, Dr. McCoy's own act could be stronger, but Spock's is so good that it instantly elevates Star Trek the Motion Picture. We see Spock go from trying to purge himself of all emotion to realising in the Colin R discipline to realising how important feelings are when he mind melds with Vija. Learning all that perfect knowledge can do is make someone aware of more imperfections. This revelation makes his decision to rejoin Starfleet understandable, and Spock learning the limits of logic in this movie is what leads him to later tell Valeris how logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end of it. Aside, and there's the lovely Persis Kambata as Lieutenant Ilea, the Delton navigator of the Enterprise. Aside from the great characterisation in the film, Star Trek the Motion Picture truly exemplifies the spirit of the original series with its focus on exploration and understanding. Real talk, many fans mostly think this movie is boring just because it doesn't have the exciting space combat of The Wrath of Khan. Well, The Wrath of Khan had its space combat because people said the first one was boring, so they thought we'd better stick some action in it. So that's why, isn't it? But Gene Roddenberry created the franchise with lofty ideals that emphasised diplomacy and discovery over violence and victory. We saw what happened, didn't we, to the Klingons at the beginning when they tried violence over diplomacy, quote, when they encountered Vija. They got digitised. And the film where humanity negotiates peace and witnesses the creation of a new life will always be truer to those ideals than blowing up a guy who never skips chess day. Speaking about Khan, and Ricardo Montalban, whose chest was real, not rubber. That leads to my last and best point about why Star Trek the Motion Picture doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. There will never again be another film in the franchise that felt as much like the original series. To be honest, Star Trek the Motion Picture is probably the most Star Trek of the movies. So anyway, the movie feels like a big budget episode where... Not really. Where most of the money went to the visuals and the result serves... It feels like a movie version of Star Trek. It don't feel like an episode to me. Star Trek Insurrection feels like an episode to me. But Star Trek, the motion picture, is, it's a movie version of Star Trek. And it's one of those special films for me. Anyway, that I talk about. Where were we? Money went to the visuals, and the result serves as an ambitious series finale to Kirk's original adventures. These days, the original series isn't for everyone, especially younger fans. Some episodes can be, a bit iffy. But if you dig those vintage adventures, I highly recommend that you give the motion picture another chance. Your human adventure, after all, is just beginning, 'cause that's how it ends with that. The human adventure is just beginning. But why human? I don't know, Kirk says everybody's human, doesn't he? But, there's a lot of aliens, non-humans on the Enterprise. But anyway, there we go. But yes, give the motion picture another go. Sydney Sweeney should play Khan in the remake then. Yes, because she's got a cool chest. Oh, dear. And a real one, I imagine. Right, so there we go. Moving on. I'll be here all night. If I don't fly through these. Hey, right, next up, Star Trek TNG. Right, here we go. I've not read this one, so I don't know what it's going to talk about. This is from Slash Film. I bet it's Whitney. It is Whitney Seymour. Carolyn Seymour's Toreth role in Star Trek was written for Sean Connery. I've no idea what it's going to say. It was just the headline gripped me. And there's Carolyn Seymour as Toreth. In an episode that, I don't know, I kind of like it. I just don't like Marina Sirtis. But anyway. In the Star Trek The Next Generation episode, Face of the Enemy, Councillor Troy, Marina Sirtis, is kidnapped by Romulans. She's given surgery against her will. She just woke up looking like a Romulan. They didn't hold her down, screaming and kicking and turn her into a Romulan. But anyway, she's given surgery against her will to look like a Romulan commander. Romulan Major. I think it's Major, isn't it? Major Rakal, I think. Anyway, and told by her captor, Sub-Commander Navek Scott MacDonald, that she is to pose as someone named Rakal, a major in the Tal Shiar. There we go. Essentially, the Romulan Secret Service. Because Troy is half Betazoid. Can you read that, by the way? I'll make that a bit bigger. Go away. Oh, no, I won't make it a bit bigger. Because it stuck a big ad in the way. Where were we? Because Troy is half Betazoid, she can intuit the emotions of others and crucially tell if they're lying or scheming. Unless you're Ferengi. I don't think she can sense Ferengis, can she? Navek reveals that he needed a secret Federation ally to convince his captain, Toreth, Carolyn Seymour. Won't she be commander? They don't have captains, do they? They have commander and sub-commander, don't they? Why do the Vulcans have sub-commander? Don't know, anyway. They're not even in submarines. To deliver a secret payload to a Starfleet vessel. The payload, audiences will later learn, is a small team of Romulan diplomats held in stasis. Except in one episode she could read the Ferengi. See, that's just it. Even TNG forgot its own rules, didn't it? Anyway, the diplomats need to be delivered to the Federation as they intend to defect. Toreth, however, is intelligent and strong-willed and won't take suggestions from Navek, hence why he's kidnapped Troy and forced her to play the part of a Tal Shiar agent. Troy is outraged at the crime committed against her, but also understands Navek's situation. She eventually goes along with his plan. There are many tense scenes wherein Troy and Toreth butt heads over who has more authority, all while she and Navek try to manipulate the situation. Toreth is, of course, too bright to fall for all their schemes. And people say, it shows how good an actress Marina Sirtis is in this episode, and I don't think it does. Just shouting doesn't make you a good actor, does it, or actress? Anyway. I like the episode, but I think DS9's version was better. Which one was that? Which one was that? The one with where Kira made to look like a Cardassian. Is that what you're thinking of? Anyway. I like the episode, I just don't like Marina Sirtis. Carolyn Seymour, Scott MacDonald, they're great, but I just don't like Marina Sirtis. Anyway, while writing the episode, screenwriter Naren Shankar took inspiration from John McTiernan's 1990 film The Hunt for Red October, a film about a Soviet submarine commanded by a potential defector named Marco Ramius Sean Connery, the Vilnius schoolmaster, something like that. In the oral history book Captain's Logs, The Unauthorized Complete Trek Voyages, edited by Mark A. Altman and Edward Gross, Shankar even admitted that the role of Toreth was inspired by Sean Connery. So it should have had a saying, "Let them sing." They did the same thing, but to Kira Second Skin, I think. Was it that one where they made her look like a Cardassian? Tried to make out that she was Cardassian, wasn't they? She was the daughter of some Cardassian officer or something, wasn't it? Officer or politician, something like that. What is it that one I'm thinking of? Anyway. The story for Face of the Enemy is credited to long-time Next Generation screenwriter René Echevarria, probably mispronouncing that, and it seems that he and Shankar did some vital brainstorming during the writing of the episode. Eventually, the two writers decided that Toreth should be a woman, although that didn't stop Shankar from writing the part with Connery in mind. He said, excuse me, "We talked a lot about whether the character of the Romulan commander would be a man or a woman. We finally decided on a woman. Back in the days when you just had men and women and small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri. We finally decided on a woman, but we also talked about there being a little bit of a feel of The Hunt for Red October in the show. When I was writing it, I just had this strong image of Sean Connery, so all the dialogue I wrote for the show was with Sean Connery's voice in my mind, and then just changed the name." So, imagine she's doing that scene, Carolyn Seymour, she's saying, "I had to watch them take my father out in the middle of the night." That would imagine him. Imagine her saying it. Dear. Toreth was eventually played by Carolyn Seymour, the prolific actress of stage and screen, perhaps best known for her roles in the 1975 post-apocalypse series Survivors, and for playing Grace in the bonkers satire The Ruling Class. Seymour is also one of the many actors to have appeared in both Star Trek and Star Wars, as she lent her voice to Mon Mothma and Shmi Skywalker in various animated projects. Cool, I didn't know that. Video game fans might know her voice from the Gears of War video games, wherein she played the Locust Queen Mira. She may not have had the star power of someone like Sean Connery, but she was pliable, talented, and deeply understood the role. Indeed, Shankar said he was impressed by Seymour's handling of the role. She's been in Star Trek a few times, I've played a few characters in Star Trek. She was also in, we saw her in briefly in Congo. Remember, a while ago we did it on Magnificent Mondays. She was in the audience watching Amy the gorilla on stage. That was Carolyn Seymour in that. There was one line of dialogue in particular that Shankar could hear very clearly in Connery's voice. It was surreal. He said, to hear it coming from an actress like Seymour, he said, "The interesting thing is there's a line. The Federation is neither stupid nor foolish." And I was going off like that. So she's imagining Sean Connery saying it. "The Federation is neither stupid nor foolish. We need buckaroo. Feed me." Okay. That's that plant, isn't it? Of what do they call that bloody thing now? Little Shop of Horrors. Audrey. Is it Audrey or Aubrey? I don't know. I've only seen it once and I didn't like it. Not my thing. Anyway, and then to see the same words with not even a punctuation mark change played by a woman was a very interesting thing. It was the same exact words with a different delivery and a different attitude, and it worked very well. It was the ultimate gender-blind writing. She was also in the episode, the TNG episode, First Contact, wasn't she? She was in that. She played an alien in that as well, that eventually went off. They were on like a first contact thing with another planet, but they felt it wasn't time for them to learn about, other planets out there and the Federation and stuff. But she knew all about it, that scientist on this planet, so she went off with them, didn't she, in the end? So anyway, yes, but the full quote is "Feed me, Seymour." Oh, right, okay. As I said, I've only seen it once and I didn't like it. I think it was the Rick Moranis version. I know there's a 60s one in. Anyway, where were we? Toreth was a wonderfully memorable character. It's a pity she didn't return after the events of Face of the Enemy. Yeah, they could have done, couldn't they? Because they brought back like Tomalok and that, didn't they? But so they should have brought her back as well. One might assume that she was arrested and or executed by the Romulans after allowing her ship to be used as a secret transport for defectors. The Temu ad just popped up there. Never bought anything from Temu. Her continued life was confirmed, however, in the 2009 tie-in novel A Singular Destiny by Keith R.A. Candido, which took place in an alternate timeline following a Borg invasion. Toreth, it seems, became a respected commander in the Romulan Empire during a parallel version of the Dominion War. But that's different though, isn't it? So she did survive in a small way from a certain point of view. I think she was originally supposed to appear in, was it Eye of the Needle in Voyager? I don't know though, but yeah, maybe. She'd have had to be younger though. They'd have to use a younger version of her because that Romulan there were from 50 years or something in the past, wasn't he? Something like that. I like that. That's an episode of Star Trek that I really like. Eye of the Needle. It's a good one, is that? Anyway. Later in Star Trek lore, the Tal Shiar would also return, serving as one of the central antagonistic forces in the first season of Star Trek Picard. What do you mention that? We saw him loads in Deep Space Nine. Anyway. Despite how nostalgia-forward that series was, the filmmakers didn't think to hire back Seymour. She's still acting at the age of 76. Oh, that's it. There we go. She's a good actress. I like Carolyn Seymour. She was my favourite actresses. She's always good in whatever she does. She's got an air about her. She always plays like, authoritative figures because she's got that sort of persona, I suppose, and a look. She's kind of angular. She looks bossy, doesn't she? So she always plays those sorts of roles, but she's a good actress. She's good, really good, and she's always good in Star Trek. Right, so there we go. Moving on, we're getting there. Right, here we go. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Next one, yeah, it is. There we go. Lily Ford is writing this one. BBC and PBS team up for the return of Emmy-winning Walking with Dinosaurs. Remember that? The 6-part series, arriving in 2025, mid-2025 perchance, will take viewers on a journey through time as cutting-edge science has allowed experts. That's supposed to be experts, isn't it? Not expects. Has allowed experts to understand more accurately how dinosaurs lived. Right, BBC Studios and PBS are teaming up to bring back Walking with Dinosaurs to screens 25 years after the series first aired. 25 years, bloody hell. Has it been that long? God, I'm old. In 1999, the BBC's documentary-style miniseries became a cultural phenomenon, thanks in part to its state-of-the-art CGI creatures. Kinda looks a bit dated now, but at the time, let's say it was amazing. You should just do a video of all the stars Trek wrote parts for who didn't do it. Connery, Murphy, Williams, etc. Was it William? Robin Williams, yes. The Most Toys, but that's supposed to be Robin Williams. I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, and Eddie Murphy was supposed to be Star Trek 4, wasn't he? I know that. I know he was supposed to be Star Trek 4. Anywho, narrated by Kenneth Branagh, the show won 2 BAFTAs and 3 Emmys. Discovery Channel aired it in the US, spawning a companion book and an arena show that toured the globe. The new 6-part series, co-produced with ZDF, or ZDF, how you pronounce it, and France Télévisions, because it's got little things, it's got accents, Télévisions, will take audiences on a unique journey back through time, revealing the incredible life stories of these long-lost giants across the land in Morocco, North America, and Portugal. Arriving in 2025, each episode of Walking with Dinosaurs will tell the dramatic story of an individual dinosaur whose remains are currently being unearthed by the world's leading dinosaur hunters. Thanks to cutting-edge science, experts can reveal how the creatures lived, hunted, fought and died more accurately than ever before. They'll be sticking feathers on them, won't they? Jack Bootle, cool name, BBC Head of Commissioning Specialist Factual, said, "A whole new generation of viewers is about to fall in love with Walking with Dinosaurs. The original series was one of the most exciting factual shows of all time." Factual. And this reinvention, this reinvention builds on that amazing legacy. Each episode is underpinned by the very latest science, but it's also filled with drama, making this a series for both dino lovers and people who just want to be told a great story. Walking with Dinosaurs is produced by the BBC Studios Science Unit. And there we go. So I look forward to that, because I like Walking with Dinosaurs. We've got the DVD set somewhere. I think that's got 2. I think I've got it. I think Aiden's got it as well. I think it's on Netflix. Is it on Netflix? And is it in HD? I don't know. I'm sure it's on Netflix. It used to be. Maybe it's on the iPlayer now. I've no idea. I don't know. It's a while since I've seen it. And last time I watched it, I thought, the CGI is not dated well. It still looks okay, but it don't look as amazing as it did back in 1999. How about Walking with Dinosaurs with Christopher Walken? I wish I could do a Christopher Walken impression. I wish I could do any impressions, but particularly Christopher Walken. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, right. Moving on. Because I've been at it for 2 hours doing a bloody review of thingy. Right. Sad news now. Windgrace told me about this yesterday, I think. It was yesterday. I can't remember where. Was it in my Far Cry stream? I think it was. When they were playing that. Anyway, Doctor Who legend William Russell dies aged 99 as tributes flood in. It's from the Daily Record. It's been reported everywhere, but so there he is. William Russell, who starred in the original Doctor Who series over 60 years ago, has sadly passed away at the age of 99. Somebody else has died as well today, age 96. Jeanette Charles. You probably don't know who that is. Jeanette Charles was, when I was a kid, if they wanted the Queen on TV, obviously they couldn't get the Queen to come and appear in a drama or a comedy thing. So they always got Jeanette Charles in because she looked a lot like the Queen. So there we go. She played the Queen Elizabeth, in one of the Naked Gun films. I can't remember which one. That was probably her biggest role as the Queen. But she was on a lot of British TV. She's died as well. She was 96. So 99, you can't complain, can you, really? I probably would if I were 99 and thinking I'm about to die. Probably think, I want a bit more life. I want to live forever. Anyway. William Russell, who starred in the original Doctor Who series over 60 years ago, has sadly passed away at the age of 99. The actor, who was the longest-running Doctor Who companion on the show, I didn't know that, first gained recognition on the ITV series The Adventures of Sir Lancelot in 1956 and went on to have a successful career on stage and screen. His most notable role was as Ian Chesterton alongside William Hartnell in the very first episode of the BBC's Doctor Who in 1963. Russell reprised his role in 2022 for Jodie Whittaker's final appearance as the Doctor, marking 57 years since he first appeared on the iconic sci-fi show, breaking a TV record in the process. His character Ian, a science teacher, was a companion of the first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, from November 1963 until October 1966, the Mirror reports. And there he is with William Hartnell. In some historical setting. During his initial stint on Doctor Who in the 60s, Russell featured in 77 episodes across the first 2 series. He returned to the role 57 years later for Jodie's grand exit at the end of 2022. This triumphant return not only thrilled fans... Is that what the longest running one? Because he did 2 years and then appeared 57 years later. That's gymnastics, Windgrace. Because you've got some companions like Sarah Jane who seem to be around forever, don't they? Anyway. This triumphant return not only thrilled fans, but also earned him a place in the Guinness Book of Records. Or as they call it in America, the Guinness Book of World Records. We just call it the Guinness Book of Records. Actor William Russell has notably set the record for the longest interval between TV appearances, with a staggering 57-year and 120-day gap between his most recent portrayals as the Doctor's associate Ian. The BBC programme confirmed on its 59th anniversary that the longest gap between TV appearances... Yes, you just said that, so it's him, right. Russell's much-awaited return to Doctor Who led him to take over the record from Coronation Street's Philip Lowry, who had previously boasted the title, with a 43-year pause before his comeback as Dennis Tanner. And there he is with bloody Russell T. Davies. Look at him. So excited. God, bloody hate him. Anyway. So when Susan returns this year, will she be longest? I don't know, because she's popped up before, hasn't she? She were in she were in the 5 Doctors. I'm sure she was. I'm sure she were in the 5 Doctors with Susan. See, I'm wondering now. But she has appeared in others as Susan. But anyway, we'll see. I think it was the 5 Doctors. Anyway, known for portraying Ted Sullivan in Coronation Street and memorable roles in The Great Escape and 1978 Superman, Lowry also garnered recognition. What are you talking about? What are we on about here now? Oh, Philip Lowry. Oh, right. We're talking about Lowry for. Don't care about him. Right. As reported on Radio Times, Russell sadly passed away on Monday, 3rd of June. He leaves behind his 3 children, Robert, Letitia and Vanessa, from his first marriage to Balbina Gutierrez. She sounds exotic. And son Alfred, with whom he had with his second spouse, Etheline Margaret Lewis Enoch. He liked women with weird names, didn't he? Oh, dear. Excuse me. Russell was also a loving granddad to 4 grandchildren, James, Elise, Amy and Ao. His son, Alfred Enoch, followed in his father's footsteps with his role as Dean Thomas in the Harry Potter series. All right. Tributes have poured in for William on social media, with one fan commenting, "What sad news to say farewell to William Russell. What a wonderful man with a delightful family, an extraordinary life and career. The most charming smile and twinkling eyes. He always lit up the room. I hope there will be many celebrations of this beautiful man." Is that his son? Yeah. Enoch, I love her book. Oh dear. Actor and writer Nicholas Pegg shared his sentiments, saying, "Raising a glass to William Russell, who has just left us a few months shy of his 100th birthday." See, I'd be angry if I went to Pearly Gates saying, "Couldn't you wait a few months?" Got me telegram off the Queen or whatever it is you get these days. I think you get a card now, a birthday card, don't you, off the Queen? You used to get a telegram. It's not the Queen anymore, it's the King now, isn't it? I keep forgetting we've got a King. Anyway. Already a star when he became a crucial part of Doctor Who's genesis, his long and remarkable career embraced everything from Shakespeare to Blackadder, a fine actor and a lovely man. Russell T Davies, known for his work on Doctor Who, also I never said that. Doctor Who also paid homage to William on Instagram with a heartfelt post, "William Russell, 24 to 24. What a sad loss. William played the Doctor's very first companion." Is that heartfelt, is it? A school teacher trapped on the TARDIS by a wily old Doctor, unable to get home, whisked off to the Stone Age, Skaro, the Crusades, the planet of the Zarbi. Oh, God. Wonderful. Sorry, I'm repeating on me something. A fine, nimble, witty, heartfelt actor who absolutely sold the truth of those early years. Before that, he'd been Sir Lancelot on the BBC. It's often undersold what a star booking he was for Doctor Who. That's a bloody right showbiz, I'm in showbiz, we book our actors. Where's the rest of it gone? Hello? Is that it? Are we going to see the rest of the article? Is it down here? Oh, hang on. There we go. That was a big gap, wasn't it? He later went on to marry Rita Fairclough as Ted Sullivan on Coronation Street. In the photo, I bumped into him on a train in 2018. I was starstruck. He spoke with so much pride and joy about his son Alfred Enoch, who I'd seen in King Lear at the Royal Exchange. Absolutely lovely man. A fine, long life. Well done, sir. Well played. Russell would have marked his 100th birthday in November, having been born in Sunderland in 1924. So rest in peace, William Russell, 99, grand old age. I hope I make it at least close to that. Oh, dear. Don't get too emotional, Russell. Can't do with him. So there we go. So that's William Russell and Jeanette Charles, who both passed away recently, and others as well, I imagine. Right, and finally, I think it's the and finally. Yes, this is the one that Windgrace might be interested in. It's an X post from Joseph Malozzi. I don't know if you've seen it, because you once told me that you don't go on X. So, and I don't know if he's posted it anywhere else. Anyway, so I'm just going to share it. I'll just share it. There it is. A post from Joseph Malozzi on X. Can you see it? I'll make it bigger. There we go. Star Trek Trivia. The Atlantis Season 6 stories we never got to tell. The whiteboard ideas for the show's 6th season and a rough summary of each episode. So anyway, so here we go. First 2 episodes. Now what? 1 and 2. The opening 2-parter would have been the Stargate Extinction script, a time travel episode that would have seen our crew stranded in the Triangulum galaxy. There they encounter a curious civilization, as well as an unexpected foe in the form of a future version of Todd the Wraith. Excuse me. With the help of present-day Todd, however, our heroes manage to turn the tables on the enemy and resume their journey to the Pegasus galaxy. Cool! Oh, right, saw this on Gate World. Oh, right, fair enough. Anyway, still going to read it. Next episode, Children of the Corn, Fantastic Four. While travelling aboard the Daedalus, or Daedalus, I don't even know how to pronounce it, our crew comes across a seemingly derelict ship. They board, and while searching the darkened interior, discover a group of children in stasis. They revive the kids, who explain they were en route to a planet to be reunited with their parents, colonists who had completed work on a new satellite community. The children are welcomed aboard and are being ferried to their destination when a mystery ship appears and opens fire on the Daedalus. Our heroes try to outpace their pursuer, but as a game of intergalactic cat and mouse ensues, the team begins to suspect that their young passengers may not be as innocent and harmless as they appear. Dun dun dun. Carl's Replicator story, obviously untitled. Progeny, The Real World, Phantoms, Echoes, Lifeline, Ghost in the Machine. Carl, is it Binder or Binder? I don't know. Binder was the king of ghost and replicator stories. No doubt he would have written one for the show's 6th season, and it would have been brilliant. All right. Episode 5, Classic Stargate. Classic Stargate was an idea Martin Gero pitched, a story that would take place in the early years of the Atlantis expedition, a flashback to an adventure we had never been privy to. Hope those kids don't summon a ghost lawyer. I don't know. I don't know anything about lawyers. Carter Rashomon. Carter Rashomon was a story idea that didn't make the cut in Season 4 and ended up in the Season 5 pile, despite the fact that Carter was no longer the base commander. It was originally envisioned as our spin on Kurosawa's 1950 classic. Colonel Carter faces a possible court-martial and dismissal after an off-world op goes awry. During the ensuing investigation, we are offered three different flashback versions of the charged events. What happened and what was she being accused of? Of what was she being accused? Guess we'll never know, since it didn't make the cut in Season 5. I moved it into the potential Season 6 episode discussion list. I probably wouldn't have liked that one, because I don't like episodes where somebody's accused of something and then they have flashbacks. I didn't like it when they did it in TNG, where I think Riker, and they've done it in Stargate, but I can't remember who it was then. They've done it in Voyager as well with Tom Paris, I think, and I don't like those episodes. I think they did it in SG1. Was it Ben Browder? Was it him that were accused of something? I can't remember. But I don't like those episodes. Yes, Cameron. What's his bloody name now? The same name as the actor that were in I Chaparral. Anyway, him. Where were we? Red Shirt Diaries. Carl Binder wanted to do a story told from the point of view of a red shirt, one of those ubiquitous no names we lose over the course of an op, who is mourned, then quickly forgotten in the episode Tag, when the team is yucking it up in the cafeteria. They've kind of done them before, though, haven't they? I mean, the other guys, for instance. But and they've done them in, like I say, it's a lower decks episode, isn't it? Cameron Mitchell. Sorry, it popped in my head. Cameron Mitchell. So a well-trodden path, that one, isn't it? Anyway, Shepard, DOA. Inspired by the 1950 thriller, Shepard DOA would have seen John racing against time to find out how he was infected with a deadly toxin and ultimately who was responsible and why, and also maybe find an antidote. Cool. The replacements. Brad pitched out a story in which the team run afoul of an alien race and while being pursued end up victims of a temporal effect that catapults them 6 months into the future. They return to Atlantis to find they've been given up for dead and replaced. As they attempt to settle into their new positions and work with their replacements, the alien race indirectly responsible for their predicament pays Atlantis a visit. I don't know, that'd be interesting, I suppose. From that teaser. Mid-season 2-parter 1 and 2. The mid-season 2-parter would have seen Shepard's team return to Atlantis following an op, only to discover it has been taken over by Wraith hybrids. But not just any Wraith hybrids. While they were off-world, Michael, who survived the events of the Prodigal, I can't remember what happened in that now. I can't remember. Targeted the city. Is that where they were on that hive ship that broke in half, or it had holes in it? I don't know, I'm thinking of something else. Targeted the city with a biological attack that has transformed the Atlantis personnel into hybrids. Shepard, McKay, Ronin and Taylor soon find themselves on the run from their former friends and a determined Michael out for revenge. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Hamster ball. Sometimes you come up with an idea fully formed. Other times it may be nothing but a vision. In this case, a vision of the individual team members trapped in a giant hamster ball like containment vessels. Compounding the problem is the fact that they are trapped in a small chamber in direct line of the Stargate, meaning the next time the gate whooshes, they risk total annihilation. How do they get trapped? How do they get out? And most importantly, what the hell happens in this episode? You'll have to ask writer Alan McCulloch. It's a bit like Cube, isn't it? Something like that. Or something similar. Or that game, Marble Madness. I bet they have to bomb about in the hamster balls. To solve puzzles. Yesterday, today and tomorrow. That sounds very Star Trekky. McKay's, yes, I did say Star Trekky. McKay's experiment with a time-travelling puddle jumper, another one, sends duplicate versions of the team, but it might be the same one. Oh no, it can't be, can it? Because I don't know. I'm confused. Sends duplicate versions of the team both backwards and forwards in time. The story jumps between 3 different timelines, 5 years into the past, where one version of the team struggles to acquire the puddle jumper and undo the damage done without affecting the timeline. 5 years into the future, where Atlantis is under siege by the alien race introduced in the Daedalus variations. That was a good episode. Seeing them again. Cool. While another version of the team attempts to acquire the jumper so that they can warn their past selves, and the present where McKay continues to tweak his experiment with developments in each timeline, influencing events in the others en route to a mind-bending climax. Rodney was in Cube, so perfect. Yes, he was. Yes, he was in Cube. He's been in a few... I forgot the name of the director now. I can't remember. Can't remember the name of the director now. He was in a few of his films. Or Rodney. David Hewlett. Craig. Name of that director now, I can't remember. He did Splice, which had David Hewlett in. Anyway, never mind. Hexed. While visiting an alien community, Shepard is cursed by a kooky local. At first our heroes laugh off the incident until Shepard runs into a spate of bad luck. Very bad luck. Shep Wumpers rejoice. What's a Wumper? But, you know, I think they've done something similar to that before, haven't they? I don't know about bad luck. They've had episodes where they've had good luck and stuff, haven't they, I think? Because there was that episode with, I forgot his bloody name now. Richard, is it Richard Kind? He was in the Stargate movie and also in Stargate Atlantis. He took a little potion, didn't he, to make people like him, sort of thing. So it'll be a similar one to that. Anyway, Entropy. In Season 5, Paul wanted to do a story in which the effects of the McKay-Miller Gate Bridge have serious otherworldly repercussions for the city, but we ended up doing something similar in Brainstorm, so we pushed this idea. So I reimagined a version where a mishap with a ZPM, McKay style, triggers a subspace burst that disperses time fractals throughout Atlantis, and within these varying shards of warp space-time, the rules of physics no longer apply. So they began going through the city, and they just... Lucius, yes, that's the fella. Lucius, not Lucius, Lucius, yeah. So they're going through the city, and just there'd be some, like... There'd probably be some weird effect, and they'd step through it, and it'd be, you know, it'd be somewhere else, or it'd be the same place but different. It'd be something like that, wouldn't it? Just in random places. A bit, maybe, or maybe something like when Voyager went going through that weird. I think it was in season 1 or early season 2. I can't remember, of Voyager, where it would. Voyager were all going all warped and weird. It'd be something like that, wouldn't it? Anyway, revenge. Shepard and his team must mount an op to save Todd after he is captured by rivals. Reassuming her role as a Wraith Queen, Taylor leads the team aboard a hive ship in order to track down and rescue their unlikely ally. Yay, good old Todd. Christopher Heyerdahl, who's been in everything. Payback. Following devastating attacks on 3 other teams, Shepard and Co.'s off-world investigation takes a surprising turn when they are attacked by a puddle jumper. On the run on an alien world, they are pursued by an enemy who is able to predict their every move. Their mysterious pursuer is revealed to be Lieutenant Aidan Ford. Didn't name my son after him, because my son were born before Stargate Atlantis were created. A long time before. It's revealed to be Lieutenant Aidan Ford and a group of mercs armed with ancient tech. Our heroes must find a way to turn the tables on their former friend and ultimately find out the surprising source of his all too familiar resources. So that'd be nice to see Ford back again. Because we assumed he died because they were on a ship that blew up, wasn't he? A hive ship? I'm sure a hive ship or a cruiser. A wraith ship that blew up. We didn't see him get off, did we? Did we? Don't think we did. Turn of events. With an uncooperative Ford, so it's obviously a 2-part, or maybe, or just a continuous arc. With an uncooperative Ford now imprisoned on Atlantis, Shepard's team investigates the most likely source of the black market ancient tech, the Tower. Remember that? There they discover Atlantis' sister city is in the hands of a group of rogue Jedi, led by none other than Robert Darby's, I thought he died, Acatus Collier, who we learn survived the events of Irresponsible thanks to a modified personal shield emitter. This other one's supposed to be dead. It turns out Collier has been busy consolidating his power base. Our team's attempts to thwart him fail, necessitating a tactical retreat. So does that mean we can get Colomini back as, I forgot the name, as the Jedi leader, even though a nuclear bomb went off on him. But you never know. Our team's attempt to thwart him failed, necessitating a tactical retreat, but not before they obtain a crucial piece of information, the mirror location of the ancient ZPM factory hidden on Atlantis. Because remember that even though they've been at Atlantis for a few years, they've still not explored everywhere, have they? And there we go. Pre-finale. Using the information gathered last episode, our heroes are finally able to access the city's hidden ZPM factory. I'm going to call it ZPM like Rodney does. The room, it turns out, holds even more secrets, the locations of similar ancient storehouses throughout the Pegasus galaxy. An exploration of one such seemingly long-abandoned chamber yields a shocking discovery. None other than Elizabeth Weir. Another return. It's going to be the season of returns, isn't it? Or it would have been, who has been kept on ice since her capture by the Asurans, who were the human form replicators, I think they were. Then we get a script, and it's a cool script. I really enjoyed reading this because it's very Stargate. They even mention Supernatural. But this was obviously written when Supernatural was still on the air. Because it says, how long have I been gone somewhere on it, doesn't it? Where is it? There we go. How long have I been gone? A while. Rodney, how many years? Well, Supernatural is still airing new episodes. Anyway. Oh, there's more. With Elizabeth's help, the team... I thought that was it then. The team is able to gain access to an Asuran weapon specifically built to target Atlantis. Thus armed, Shepard and co. pay a return trip to Collier, determined to neutralise his threat once and for all, but they are too late. They arrive just in time to see the ancient city rise up out of the ground and ascend up into the sky and the stars beyond. What about all the people? There was a town round it, wasn't there? About all the people that live there. Our heroes are already aware of its destination, Atlantis, and the season finale. Shepard's team return to Atlantis with a dire warning, only to be informed that long-range scanners have picked up the sister city and it's headed straight for them. All off-world teams are recalled. It's going to be all hands on deck as the city prepares for war again, and the sister city makes its inexorable approach. Pardon me, we are treated to some classic character-centred moments as the city readies for what will be their biggest battle against a better equipped, better prepared opponent. Really? What? I mean, it's been buried, hasn't it? Is it better equipped? Well, obviously so. Finally, it is time. Atlantis rises up off the surface of the ocean. I'm guessing they've got some ZPMs now because the factory's working, so they'll be fully powered up now, won't they? Atlantis rises up off the surface of the ocean and makes its descent up through the stratosphere, up where the air is clear, beyond the exosphere, taking up a planetary orbit. And when the sister city appears, Atlantis launches its jumpers and drones. Their opponent responds in kind. The most epic battle in Stargate history is joined. What, even more epic than Antarctica or the big battle in, I can't remember what season it was in, but the big battle against the human replicators. It'd have to be big, wouldn't it? Shepard skillfully pilots his jumper into the heart of the enemy city and lands on a pier. His team disembarks, a Asuran weapon in tow, determined to finish the job they set out to complete the last episode, but they're on the clock and running out of time, facing down enemy soldiers and drone strikes as they desperately seek to set up the Asuran weapon as close to critical systems as possible. But they're not the only ones running out of time. Atlantis, outgunned by a foe that has been preparing for war, suffers heavy damage. Even if our team succeeds in their mission, it looks like it will be a Pyrrhic victory. I mean, they could do a call back to that episode, The Seer. Is it The Seer? Can't remember. It had Martin Jarvis in it, and he foresaw the destruction of Atlantis. And then later in this, I think in the same season, we learned it was the destruction of the replicator Atlantis. But maybe this could be a reference to that. But anyway, whatever. And then a fleet of hive ships drops out of FTL. FTL, don't they use hyperspace, the hive ships? It's Destiny that uses FTL, doesn't it? But anyway, and concentrate their fire on the enemy ship. It's Todd. He and his fleet take the pressure off Atlantis, buying Shepard and his team enough time to initiate their Asuran weapon and retreat back to the jumper, making good their escape, as behind them the weapon initiates, setting off a chain reaction of explosions that claim the enemy city. Atlantis returns to the planet's surface. Shepard thanks Todd. Wraith and human achieve an understanding, and peace finally returns to the Pegasus galaxy. End of season 6. So would that be the end of Stargate Atlantis? Because, ending a happy ending and not ending on a cliffhanger, would it? But anyway, so there we go, and there's some notes and stuff. And there we go. I replied, "Oi, Amazon MGM, this." But they're not listening, are they? So there we go. I found that really interesting. And I would love to see it happen. But it's not gonna, is it? But it'd be cool if it did. Right. But Windgrace has seen it on Gate World. So poo to Gate World. I saw it on blooming Twitter. So anyway, right. We'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. Hang on, no real mention of Ronan, so you must be happy. He's in there a couple of times, isn't he? Early on. Is it early on he's mentioned, isn't he? I wonder if something happened to him in the season. I wonder. But anyway. He's all right. I just don't see the point of him. Because they wanted the teal'c, didn't they? That's what it was. They wanted the teal'c for Atlantis, and so they made up Ronan. But I must admit, one of my favourite episodes, probably my favourite episode of Stargate, in all of Stargate, is Midway, where we get Teal'c and Ronan teaming up, first fighting each other, then teaming up to save the SGC from the Wraith. So there we go. So I do like Ronan, but it just annoys me at times. Right, so we'll leave it there. What's coming up next? We're on Wednesday, so Friday night appointment with Fear. This week we're doing From Dusk Till Dawn. That'll be fun, won't it, with me skipping through it, because there might be some boobies in it somewhere. So that's what's happening on Friday. So anyway, and I'll probably be doing my Far Cry game streams and stuff. So we're getting there slowly. Right, so thanks, Win Grace, and did anybody else come in? I had Laura, didn't we, and them. I had Josh Temple, and Laura, and I think that's it into you. So thanks for keeping me company while I do all that stuff. Right, time is it? 11:30. I've got time to order a curry. I'm getting hungry now. I only had some soup for my tea, so I'm getting hungry. Oh, hang on. You should have made Christopher Heyerdahl as the Athosian main muscle. Oh, should have made it. It'd have been good as a permanent. I can't remember. Was it Halleck? Halleck or something, his name, or something like that, wasn't it? In Atlantis. But yeah, they should have had him and Taylor being together, as part of the team. But anyway, whatever. Christopher Heyerdahl's amazing, in my opinion. One of the best actors out there. He's cool. He's done everything. Anyway, right, so leaving it there. I'm going now. So, thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the...